So, there's nothing better than accomplishing goals. Um, this wasn't really a goal that I set for myself, but it was something that was an accomplishment for me. So, over the last 6 years, I haven't been very consistent about working out. I uh, I graduated high school, and I'd still go to the gym. I was really blessed that the high school left the gym open to the public right after I graduated, and so I was able to go to the high school gym and work out and just tear it up. And then I left on my mission, and the consistency was really difficult to maintain because I like going and lifting weights, and I didn't have that. All I had was body workouts, and I was able to continue doing them. I would wake up in the morning, and while my companion got in the shower or whatever, I would go in and do push ups, crunches, planks, whatever I needed to try and keep a somewhat fit lifestyle. And as a missionary, for those of you that know, you wake up in the morning and you don't want to do anything. You just want to lay in bed and be lazy because you're tired, and you just feel exhausted. And so it was really difficult some days for me to get up and do those workout routines. Well, 2 years go by, I get home from the mission and I start working out hard. Like, I hit the gym every day. I was up at 5:30 in the gym, and then I was working my butt off. I'd run about a mile on the treadmill, try and go about 8 miles an hour. And for me, those of you that know me from growing up, I hated running. And so that was an accomplishment for me. Like 8 miles an hour on the freaking treadmill. I was running 8-minute miles. Like, that's never happened for me. That was awesome. And then I lost 30 pounds. Like, I've never done that in my life before either. So in 4 months, in between the time I got home and the time I got married, I had lost 30 pounds or around that much. So I went from about 220 to 195, 190. And that's freaking crazy. Um, and so that was awesome. Well, then I got married. And for those of you that know what it's like to get married, you don't really care about that anymore. I mean, I still liked working out, but it wasn't as consistent as prior in my life. And I've gone through phases where it's a priority and when it's not. And I'm finally at a point in my life, here we are, 4 years from the day I got home from my mission, and I'm in a consistent basis with working out. Over the last 4.5 months, however long it's been, I have been in the gym almost every day. You know, sometimes I'll take off Saturday and Sunday, but usually like 2 days is the max for me. I don't take longer than 2 days. Well, this last week, my family and I and my son, we all went up the mountain, and we had a fun time up there. Well, we left Thursday and came back Monday. Well, my son and I left Thursday and came back Monday. And I didn't do a darn thing. Like, I just relaxed the whole weekend, and man, was it nice. But I tell you what, I ate like a dadgum pig. I ate so much food, it was ridiculous. And I learned something. One, I can't put down the food that I used to. And two, I missed working out. Trying to stay fit and stay healthy is awesome. So yesterday I hit the gym again, and man, it was great. You know, like I started doing chest workouts yesterday, and I was looking in the mirror and I was like, man, I've made a lot of progress over these 4 months. It may not be very visible, but I can see it. Like, I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, dude, you're getting ripped. Like, your chest is getting out there, your shoulders are getting out there, your arms are getting there. And I'm like, I'm looking good. Like, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm looking good. Like, it's awesome. You know, goals are fantastic. But where I was going with all this is today. I was in the gym and I was doing legs. And I'm not the biggest fan of squatting because when are you ever going to have something on your back and you're going to squat it in real life? You know, like it helps with your legs, it helps you get strong. It's not very good on your back though. And so that's one of the reasons I'm not a big fan of it. Plus, like most of the time when you go to pick something up or go to lift something off of somebody or off of something, you're deadlifting, you're not squatting. Well, you are squatting, but you're not, it's not on your back. It's in front of you with your hands. But that's besides the point. I digress. So back to my point. So when I was a senior in high school, I think my max squat was 315, 310, and I haven't squatted like I have the last couple weeks in 6 years. And so this is an accomplishment for me. It's not a crap ton of weight. It's a decent amount. But today I tried a weight that I haven't tried since I was 18. And so I squatted 295. And luckily I had a buddy in there that was able to spot me because I didn't know how I was going to do. I didn't know how it was going to work. But I went in there, and the last week and this week, I tried to do four sets of 8 reps. And last week and this week I did 225 that many times. And so I was like, you know what? I should be able to get this pretty easy, but I wasn't sure how I was going to do. So I hit 295. I put that stuff on my back and I squatted it. It was a little hard, just a little bit. There was a little bit of, resistance. But I got it. It was pretty easy. And so next week when I go in there, I'm going to try 315 and see what I can do there. And just like the goals are awesome. I would love by the end of this year to be able to say that I can squat 2 times my body weight. I think that's right. So I weigh about 230, 225. I would love to be able to squat around 450. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know if that's a good goal to reach. But if I can get at least 4, like that's freaking awesome. And so by December 31st, that's what I'm shooting for. 400. And that's a lot of freaking weight. Like, that's a lot of weight. If I can get more than that, awesome. If I don't reach it, I'll be kind of disappointed. But I'm pretty confident I can reach 400 in 3-ish months. Because I am working my butt off. With benching, I want to try and reach, I think I got 215 when I was a senior in high school. And I tried probably 3 years ago to do 225, and I think I got it, or I got close to getting it. So I want to try and get at least my body weight in benching. I've never been big on benching. Like, it's never been something I'm good at. And so that's where I'm at there. These are all legit goals. Like, you don't want to set something that's not legit, you know, not something you can achieve. Something that is real, something that you can work towards that's not blown out of proportion. And so that's where I'm going towards. On a side note, kind of changing gears here, I've been thinking a lot. I listened to a podcast, I believe yesterday, by a guy named Ed Milet. And if you don't know him, go look him up. He's an incredible guy. He has a lot of information to share. He is a multimillionaire, or at least a millionaire, and he knows his stuff. And one thing he was talking about is how we need to change the way we think. And that's something I've been trying to focus on the last week or so. And it's funny that I came across this podcast yesterday because I am really, like, I'm trying to change some of the ways I think. And as I came across this podcast, it made me realize a lot of things. I can't remember the name of the podcast, but he goes along the lines of sharing how we have our subconscious mind. And for those of you that don't know what that is, go look it up because it's kind of difficult for me to explain. But it's basically what our mind does without us making it think. Like what it's constantly going over. What our mind does inactively. So, like as you're sitting down, so you know how sometimes you zone out and you don't realize what you're thinking about? Well, your brain's kind of doing stuff like that. And so, I'm going to share an experience that I had in the beginning of my mission. So I didn't notice this until it was pointed out to me. But I had an elder who, he turns around, we're sitting in our vehicle. There's 4 of us in this vehicle getting ready to go to a meeting or whatever. And he turns around and he looks at me and he says, "Elder Matthijs, why you got to be so negative all the time? Like, why are you like that? You don't need to be like that. Like, try and be more positive. I'm sick of hearing this negativity come out of your mouth." And he said that, and I was like, I didn't know I was negative. Like, I didn't think of it as being negative, you know? And that's the subconscious mind. You are constantly paying attention, CJ, you are constantly paying attention to the negative aspects of your life. And so your life sucks. And after I heard that, my mindset got flipped. Like, I was just like, you know what? He's right. I need to start being more positive. I need to start doing things that, or looking at things that are benefiting me. And I try to have that mindset. Sometimes I'm better at it than other times. But I've noticed when I have a more positive mindset, when I'm more grateful for the things around me, when I'm telling myself positive affirmations, I am less stressed out. I don't have as much anxiety. I just feel peace. And it's like, this is awesome, you know? Like, I just feel so good. And so that's something I've really been trying to focus on. Specifically the positive affirmations. Like I just said a little bit ago, you look really good. Like, you're starting to tone out, CJ. And the subconscious mind, like, whatever you start thinking and start doing, that's who you become. And so I listened to another podcast a while back by the Diesel Brothers, by Heavy D, and he says, he goes, he says he started thinking about, or telling himself, some of the things he wants in life. Like, I want a helicopter. Well, wouldn't you know it? He's got a helicopter, and he knows how to fly it. And so, like, instead of saying, or no, he didn't say that. I lied. He said, I have a helicopter. And because he told himself that he has a helicopter, it eventually became true. And so, like, you start telling yourself these things in a I have it now perspective, even though you don't. It's only no, I won't say that. Even though you don't have it, if you have the confidence and the motivation that you're going to have it, you'll achieve that. And so, like, 6 months ago, I went on this journey to find out what my dreams are. And after I started like trying to find that out, I discovered it. And once I figured that out, I was like, okay, I want to do this, but I have no clue how that's going to happen. And it's so funny how like things just fall into place. Like a few months later, boom, something dropped into my life where I was like, I can do this now. Like, I'm going to have the money to be able to follow this dream that I have. And I still don't know how I'm going to achieve it, but I've reached one step closer to becoming or to following the dream that I've set in my life. And Ed Mylett also said in this podcast I listened to yesterday, he says, it's not so much the how, but the why behind why you're doing it. You know, like the reason behind why you're doing it. And so you got to find the motive behind your dreams, behind things you're doing. And once you find the motive, the how doesn't really matter because it's going to happen, especially if you're confident that it's going to happen. And so that's something I've been looking at. Trying to change things in my mind to where it's like, oh, I'm not worthy of that, to more of, you are worthy of that. You can do this. And the how doesn't really matter, but your reasoning behind why you want to do it is what matters. And so it's kind of like faith, you know. Faith is hope, which is not seen, or something along those lines, which is whatever. Faith is an action, you know. You can't really see what's going on, but you got to do it. There's an apostle that gives a talk about a tunnel that you go through, and you don't have much light, just this little flashlight that goes about 10 feet in front of you, and you can't see the other side of the tunnel. And that's about it, you know. Like, you just got to go and have faith that you're gonna be able to reach the end of the tunnel, even though you can only see 10 feet in front of you. And yeah, there's going to be difficult times. Things are going to get in the way, but that doesn't matter. You just got to keep the reasoning behind why you're going after these goals, why you're going after these dreams. Is it for accomplishment? Is it for you? Is it to prove others wrong? What's your reasoning behind why? It has to be powerful enough to make you act. And that's kind of what I wanted to get at. You have to do things that are powerful enough to make you act. So I have so much more I want to share, but that might be for another night. I feel grateful that my Heavenly Father is putting this information into my life so that I can learn and I can change myself for the better. Keep moving forward, people. There's a lot going on in this world today, and if you let it get you down, you're going to be in a world of hurt. So don't let it get you down. Look for the positive, look for the grateful. Positive affirmations is a huge thing. They say to look in the mirror and tell yourself these things. I'm not quite there yet, but I keep telling myself in my head, like, you're awesome. You're a bad A. You got this. Keep moving forward. You can achieve your goals. You can reach your dreams. You can do these things. And thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you taking these last 20 minutes to watch this video, if you made it through the end. And I hope y'all have a great rest of your day.